It is great to be here. I was just saying earlier on to some other people, I don't think I've ever been at an exhibition like this where you've got such a sense of community and where everybody is so happy to see each other. You know, I think that's absolutely brilliant. So it's great to be here.
I think one thing during the lockdowns and the pandemic in the last couple of years has been the shift online, which the industry's really adapted to very, very quickly. But there's a greater sort of tendency now to embrace technology. Are you finding that?
Absolutely. If I could just say, the consumer was already moving online before COVID. COVID and lockdowns has accelerated that. Our ways of working and what we can actually do. Think about all the organizations that in March were told you're working from home. Like our organization, we had to move in Rebecca's division in retail. We had to move over 900 people to work from home within a matter of days to stand up our operations to be able to support our customers and brokers. Now, it's a lot of brokers, 1,600 brokers, 5,500 car dealers over in the motor finance side, 280,000 customers in the motor finance side, and 3 million in the premium finance side. So we had to be able to support those customers, brokers, dealers and partners within hours and work from home. So that shows what we can do. So the consumer was already driving us there. We as consumers were already getting used to digital more and more and wanting more to operate more online, but COVID showed us what was possible. And then it becomes a bit of a norm, you know, working from home, how we interact with each other. Speaking to somebody earlier on who's working with a new business in the States and said, and I've never met them. I'm working with them for 6 months now and I've not gone out to the States to meet them yet. We're doing everything over Zoom or Teams or WebEx or whatever it is. So yeah, so I think the trend was coming, Al, that's what I'm trying to say, but COVID showed us, accelerated and showed us what was possible as well.
You touched before on the motor market. Obviously a lot more people now are not commuting the way they used to. Have you seen a difference in the type of vehicles that are being leased, the length of leases? Has been any key changes that you've seen?
You know, there hasn't been any major changes in the average term that we've seen. We usually see in the UK 2.7 years in terms of the term, and in Republic of Ireland 3.1 years. So we haven't seen any significant changes. We have seen an increase in the value of vehicle that's being financed. We have seen a huge increase in the number of light commercial vehicles that are being financed. Think about all of us at the moment. It's gone from the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, to the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and the DPD driver, right? They are the individuals that need vans. How many online orders do you have being delivered today, Al, right? So we're all becoming consumers in that sense. So we've seen light commercial vehicles rocket up. We've seen lifestyle in our motorbike side as well also increase, particularly in the last number of months. And I think that's because people have had a little bit, in recent months, have had a little bit of extra cash in the bank accounts, which they may want to use as a deposit for that, you know, that lifestyle vehicle. So we haven't seen a huge change, but what we have also seen is a huge impact with the knock-on effect of semiconductor challenges. So you can't get a new car at the moment. If you can, it's like getting, you know, hen's teeth right now, and that puts pressure back into the used market. So it pushes prices up in used, and therefore it also pushes up cost of repairs as well within motor.
It really has. I mean, a friend of mine had his Mercedes dealer phone him up and offer him 1,000 more than he paid for the car 18 months ago.
Yeah.
It's incredible the way values have.
Yeah, there's a well-known CEO within the broker community, I won't say any names. If they see this, they'll know who it is. They had a car that was delivered that was the wrong length of vehicle. So it was supposed to be a long wheelbase Defender, They got a short wheelbase Defender delivered, and the dealer said, look, we get the mistake, it's going to take another 6 to 9 months to come in, so why don't you do that, and we'll also give you a premium on the vehicle that you're taking when that comes back to us in 9 months. So we're seeing it all the time, absolutely. You're seeing, organizations like We Buy Any Car offering huge money for certain makes and models. And actually, one of the things, just on the insight piece, one of the products that we offer in motor, so we provide motor dealers the ability to finance their forecourt, so buy vehicles to sell them out. But with that product, we also provide insight into those dealers on what vehicles are going to sell in their area. Not details on what's sold in the past, because what's sold in the past is what's sold in the past, but what are consumers looking for right now? So when we see consumers going online who are spending 12 to 14 hours solid looking for a vehicle, they're telling us what they want because they narrow the search down. So we're providing that through to our car dealers to say, on a postcode level, to a registration level, this is what's in demand. This is how you should price those vehicles based on that demand that we're seeing in your area. And that's a partnership with Auto Trader, the online marketplace. So that's one example of what we're using on Insight. We'll talk more about premium finance as well.
That's really useful, isn't it? Because that saves the dealers consulting a glasses guide or searching online for hours trying to figure out what that car that year with that mileage, what ballpark figure it's going to realise and what the value is.
Absolutely, and particularly when it's on the forecourt, right? The average vehicle takes 55 days to sell in the UK, so from when it hits the forecourt and goes up for sale to when it leaves and heads off onto a driveway. We can help a dealer to price that vehicle more effectively, because what a dealer would normally do is say, it's not selling. So what they'll do is reduce the price, okay? That's in the DNA of a dealer. Reduce the price, it's not selling, reduce the price, okay? Actually, about 25% of our dealers are increasing the price. So you get into the spectrum of where the consumer is searching. And therefore, they increase the speed of sale, so reduce their days to sell because they know how to price more accurately, and they're making increased profit on the bonnet of that vehicle because they have more knowledge on the demand for that type of vehicle coming into the market.
Because sometimes with a prestige car, it can be suspiciously cheap.
Well, there you go. You've said it exactly. Suspiciously cheap. The dealer might be just saying, so a dealer will chunk, they'll knock hundreds or thousands in some example, like a prestige. And what you'll do, because you've done so much searching online, what you'll do is go, hang on a minute, I'm a bit suspicious about that. What's going on with that vehicle, right? There's some, that's a cut and shoot, something's happened with that vehicle. But actually the reality is the dealer's just not aware of what's going on with it. But you as a consumer, because you're spending so much time searching online for that vehicle, you know the competition for that vehicle better than that dealer knows it, right? You know every vehicle that's against that for sale because you've looked at them all. So you know the trim, you know the mileage, you know everything about it. Us being able to provide that insight into dealer partners is quite significant.